Most diets are way too complicated. You have some that require you to count every calorie and macro as if you were an OCD food scientist, and you have others that restrict entire food groups as if they were going to rub the insides of your body with poison ivy. So in today's video, I want to share with you what I consider to be the most simplest diet on the planet ever. And this diet is so idiot-proof. And how would I know that? Even I can do it. And the diet that I'm talking about is called the green face diet. So the green face diet is as bare bones as it gets, and that is why it is so powerful, because of its simplicity. Now, this is not about eating forms of rabbit food or starving yourself on an 800 calorie a day diet. No, you'll be eating real food, food that actually does something for your body. And the foods that you're gonna eat are gonna be optimized to help you get lean, boost energy, and live a healthy life. Now, these rules are so simple that you can literally tattoo them on your forearm in 5 minutes. So rule number 1, if it's green and it comes from the ground, then you can eat it. Rule number 2, if it has a face or is going to have a face, you can eat it. And rule number 3, if it's not green or hasn't come from the ground and doesn't have a face, you don't eat it. And that's it, seriously. No calculations, you don't have to figure out any equations as if you're trying to figure out algebra. You literally have these embarrassingly simple rules to follow. And if you stick to this for a specific period of time, which I'm going to get into, then you are going to be dropping fat faster than a Lamborghini speeding down the Autobahn. Now, here's why this diet works. The first thing is that you're cutting out all of the crap. By sticking to green face foods, you're eliminating all of the ultra processed junk that people usually put into their bodies. So no more chips, no more sodas, no more energy drinks. You're putting in whole natural foods that your body can use for fuel. The next is you're getting plenty of protein and fiber. So on this diet, you can have unlimited green vegetables, unlimited green foods. I'll get into the protein in a second.
Awesome, I love protein.
But the thing about getting more green foods and also putting in more protein into your body is the fact that you're going to feel full, you're going to be satiated, you're going to have a shit ton of nutrients, and this is all going to help you feel a lot more satisfied from the meals that you eat. One of the most underrated benefits is the fact that this retrains your taste buds. So eating a diet full of junk food is a way to manipulate your taste buds where eating real food can taste like crap. Eating the green face diet retrains your tongue's taste for these real foods. So over the course of time, what's going to happen is that you're going to be starting to crave real foods over junk foods. Next is it's hard to overeat. I mean, it is really hard to overeat broccoli, lettuce, spinach. Think of like a green food, and it is super hard to overeat these things. And the beauty of this is the fact that the green face foods that you are going to eat, they're packed full of nutrients and, again, like I said, fiber. So when you eat these, you are going to feel full after a certain point. And if there's anything that we know about feeling full, that is half the battle to dropping weight. And the most underrated part of this diet is the fact that it allows you to find food sensitivities and allergens. So in its essence, the green face diet is an elimination diet, and that's actually what you need, because there are people out there, myself included, who are just a little bit more sensitive to certain types of foods, whether it be dairy, whether it be gluten, whether it be any of the chemical compounds that they have in hyper-processed foods. And when you eliminate these things for a period of time, you get to see how sensitive your gut and your stomach are to these specific compounds when you start bringing them back. The simple act of eating the green face diet is a net positive for your gut health. So you might be wondering, okay, so should I do this diet? Who exactly is this diet for? Well, in my experience, so in my coaching practice, we help thousands of people get themselves into shape. And one of the best things that this diet does is helping people who are starting or restarting their journey when it comes to getting lean. I'm a huge fan of going to your extremes to find your balance. And like I said before, you're not going to be doing this diet for the rest of your life. This diet is a great way to launch your results, especially when you are just starting out or restarting. In full disclosure, we are using this diet to start off the people who do our course, which is the Lean Body 90, and for our coaching clients as well. This is one of the best ways to start a weight loss journey because of how simple it is and also because of how restrictive it is. Now, there are some modifications that we've made for our clients, and maybe you want to add these ones to what you're doing as well if you do decide to do the green face diet. So number one is that you're going to be eating a frequency of 3 meals a day. We preferably want our clients to be eating a meal at least 30 minutes to an hour upon waking. And subsequently, we want to have our next meals, our second and third meal, to be at least 3 to 5 hours after that meal. So we are going to be having an eating window of anywhere between, let's just say, like 8 to 10 hours. Next, for your protein portions, you want it to be at least the size of your fist. And when it comes to your vegetables or greens, you can have an unlimited portion, as much as you want. You are not going to have any sauces, spices are allowed, salt is allowed. And if you're asking like, can I put nuts in here? Can I use a whey protein shake? Can I do this? The answer is no. The beauty and the power of doing a diet like this is both in its simplicity and also in its restrictiveness. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're getting a lot of value out of this, we are trying to get our YouTube channel up to 250K by the end of the year, and I think we have a chance of doing that. So if you're watching this and getting value, please subscribe to the video. All right, carry on. So how long should you be doing this diet? Well, I'll tell you what we're doing in our coaching practice. We are getting our clients and the people who are doing the Lean Body 90 course to start the first 2 weeks on this particular diet, so 14 days. And I find that 2 weeks is a great time frame in order to retrain the taste buds, in order to rediscipline ourselves towards eating whole foods and healthy foods. And it's a great way to also lose a little bit of the bloat that comes with eating things like hyper-processed foods, junk foods, and things of that nature. Now, you can do this probably for as long as 4 weeks. You can actually do this for an entire lifetime, but I don't necessarily recommend it. Even though hyper-processed foods and junk foods are not necessarily good for you, I actually do feel that they are a part of a healthy diet, and we want to implement those foods after the time of the green face diet when it is done. Because what you're going to find is after about 2 weeks or so that you are going to have a better taste for real foods. And also when you go back to eating, let's just say, junk foods, you're going to find that the taste is a little bit off. It's a little bit manipulated. It's a little bit, let's just say, maybe too sweet or even too savory. Now, when you introduce these foods back, what you want to do is you want to see exactly how your body reacts when you eat these foods. So something I tell my clients all of the time is the fact that when you start to eat the right foods, when you start to exercise, when you start to get healthy, what happens as a result is that you start to have this slow but subtle feeling of good health. And then anytime that you start to feel that way and then you go back to what you were doing before, you can actually see the way that you would feel, say, eating a diet of hyper-processed foods and not exercising. So this is a great and fantastic test for you to be able to see which foods correlate with your body and which foods don't. So when it comes to the green face diet, you literally can't screw this up. It is the simplest diet on the planet because it strips away the BS and returns you back to the basics. It's about eating real food that nourishes your body and gives you the nutrients that you need. And there are no gimmicks, it's just simple rules to follow. And I am a big believer in going to your extremes in order to find your balance. So once you do the green face diet for a period of time, then you would go back to eating a ratio of foods on the green face diet, maybe like 80 to 90% of them. And getting about 10 to 20% of your foods from, let's just say, a little bit more fun sources like hyper-processed foods, junk foods, things of that nature. So if you're tired of complicated diets that make you feel like you need a PhD in order to follow them, then the green face diet is going to be the one for you. It's simple and it works, and best of all, it's designed to make you healthy. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one.